You happy today? Nice. Oh wow, I woke up early today. I didn't even realize. Shuan Ling kinda mid? Huh? Oh, Yang Yang? Uh, what do you mean, like design wise? Because I know strength wise she's the strongest in the game. Personality wise? I see. Thoughts on Sparksy main DPS? I mean, I don't have really any specific thoughts on it. It works. It's good. Nice. Can you guys, like, not instigate? Please? It's my, I don't, like, if you haven't played it, I don't see any reason to talk about it as if it's garbage. I played it. I'm talking about Dark in my chat, who said I have no idea about the story, but I see no one talk about it. Was it that mid? Who do you think will be the worst aging 4.x DPS? Uh, if you count Sparksy, then probably her. But if you don't, then it's probably gonna be a Venecia. I mean, I don't know. I haven't played the new Wuwa patch. Maybe it is bad. But then again, like, do most people even play Wuwa for story reasons? Not gonna lie. I feel like most people just play Wuwa because, like, cool character designs, cool animations, kinda. It seems beta's on Wednesday. Yeah, that's not surprising. That's normal. Betas don't come out until like the second a new patch is right around the corner. On the same day, basically. The normal is on Mondays? No. The normal, okay, there's like a false correlation here. The normal is on Mondays because new patches usually dropped on Mondays, like that. But if a patch doesn't drop on a Monday, then the beta isn't going to release on a Monday. That's just kind of how the betas usually go. Like, it's usually the day a patch is dropping, or like a little bit earlier or a little bit later, that beta usually comes. Why did I just reset? Oh my god. Where do you get your Wuwa leaks from? The Reddit? I don't have like a leak dealer or anything. It's just the Reddit. New beta filled with agenda posting? Yeah. Because the follow-up team is the first finished team of the game so far. And then you also have Robin SP possibly being an upscale for the older Rem teams. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of agenda in this beta too. Oh, is Cassie Mono Rem better? Is Evernight Mono Rem better? Why is a non-main push team stronger than every other team in the game? Stuff like that. Two. Bless you, thank you. I mean, it just depends on whether or not Robin is a generalist. Nobody fully knows that yet. I don't know why you're asking questions that you know the answer to. Like, obviously, E0 phase a bad pull these days. Nice. I don't think I've ever hit 7 energy before. Why is my chat gooning? Stop gooning. It's unhealthy. ZZZ is gonna sweep all your favorite games anniversaries. We'll see. I hope they give another free limited 5-star for ZZZ Annie. Maybe. Depending on how good it is, I might come back for a bit. Gain 2 employment contracts. Damn, even the HSR characters need to get put in employment. Feels bad. Can I get like 2 more Sundays, please? Can I get 1 more Sunday, please? Yay! Do you think Avon SP will be the Eggy of version 4? No. That'll be Evanesia. Not even Eva's the Aggie? No, Evanesia will definitely be an Aggie. Not gonna lie. She's gonna get fucked by the elation. The next elation buffer is gonna be a speed buffer to synergize with Silverwolf. And she doesn't care about speed all that much. While Silverwolf really likes speed. And then Silverwolf also has like the fully tailored team with vertical investment. And she's gonna be stuck with EMC. Do you think the sustain would be a skill point buffer? No. There's no need to have a skill point buffer really anymore. Unless the argument is that like allowing Sparksy to consume like 20 skill points per turn, I don't think so, no. Speed buffer? Oh yeah, speed buffer, yeah. Relation support is gonna need more than speed. I mean, obviously. I'm not saying that they'd only have like one buff. But I'm saying like their most important buff would probably be the speed. Like, yeah, you can bring up Asta, but what does Asta bring to the table outside of her speed? Fuck all. So when you actually have a tailored elation character with tailored vertical investment with equal speed buffs, yeah. Fei Xiao needs a Nova. They can't Nova Fei Xiao right now because they're selling a new Fua team. If they end up Novaing Fei Xiao and she's like on the level of the new Fua team, then people are just gonna be like, you know, oh, I'm not pulling this new character. But then if they make a Fei Xiao Nova and she isn't on the level of the new Fua team, then people will complain about how unfairly her Nova got treated and how it would have been better if they waited a few patches so that her Nova could be better. People were already doing this with Firefly. They were like, oh, why couldn't they wait to do Firefly's Nova for like another half a year to a year later? Because then the Nova would be like more long lasting. Do I think Facial in the golden token shop soon? No, I don't think so. I could see her being on something similar to the 4.0 limited character selector, but this time with like later 2.x units like Sunday Nova, Fei Xiao, Ling Sha, and Rappa. But I don't see her getting added to the golden token shop. She is the only 2.x character whose E0 to E2 jump is nearly on the same level as 3.x DPS's. And her E2 also leads to a lot of like infinite loop shenanigans as well. Like her E2 is the strongest among version 2 characters. Or version 2 DPS's. And then they also have Robin in here as well. And they're Novaing Topaz, who's also in the golden token shop. So like they could do it, but like deadass, you could build a full best in slot Fei Xiao team if they added Fei Xiao in here. With a Nova, Topaz, and Robin. Which I don't know if they'd like do that. It'd be cool, but I just feel like it's kind of unlikely. Do you want Trebi in the golden token shop? Obviously. Who wouldn't want Trebi in the golden token shop? Hello? I have one golden token right now. And then they'll probably give another golden token by the end of the Plan Arcadia story. So 4.7. I'd have 2. That's enough for E1 Trebi. For free. I'd gladly take that. Who, in your opinion, will go in the golden token shop next? I don't know, is the thing. HSR is really random with their golden token shop additions, in my opinion. There isn't really a solid pattern for how they're added or how they're chosen. They recently had 2 pretty good additions with Robin and Huohuo. So just as I imagine to like balance things out, maybe like Jade or Ling Sha. I feel like just to balance things out. Cypher? Hell no. They're not going to touch 3.x characters in that shop yet, in my opinion. Add Sunday? No. They like Sunday is not going to be added to the golden token shop. You guys kind of have to like get that. Sunday's in a similar situation as Sparkle Nova, where he's gonna get Nova'd, and his banner is gonna be the reason for a lot of people going for his Eidolons, because his Eidolons are gonna get fixed, and also he's going to be able to sell people like Himeko Nova more, and other teams more. Like he's too good for them to put on a golden token shop yet. The same thing as Sparkle Nova. Yeah. Then what about free Sunday like Sparkle? Yeah, that's what I said. That's the most likely case. If they do a limited selector, again, like they did with Sparkles, then Sunday would probably be in there. But that's still different from golden tokens. With golden tokens, you can get an E1 or E2 Sunday over time completely free. And if you buy battle passes, technically over time for like 40 bucks, you'd also be able to get his light cone for free. Like imagine that. Like you get E2 S1 Sunday for free over time. But by them just giving him in a one-time selector like Nova Sparkle, people are still gonna be able to pull for like his E1 and E2 when his banner reruns. Because his Eidolons are definitely getting reworked. It's just so obvious that they're gonna rework his E1 and E2 to make them much stronger and more valuable. Jiao Q in the shop? Um, I don't know. Maybe. Sunday Kit is too strong. When he gets Nova'd, yeah, probably. Right now, not really, but when he gets Nova'd, for sure. Fugue? I mean, yeah. Fugue wouldn't be a bad golden token shop addition. But I don't think Fugue would get added in like the next batch of it though. It might take longer. Why they don't Nova Robin? I mean, it it's just self-explanatory, man. They're making a new Fua team. They don't want to Nova any of the old Fua units. It's the same reason why they don't Nova Fei Xiao. But Acheron and Firefly are getting everything. It'll interfere with their sales for the new Fua team if they just make the old Fua team just as strong. It's not that Fei Xiao and Robin can't get a Nova, but it would probably be somewhere in like version 5 because they want to make sure it doesn't interfere with the new Fua team sales. Ruan Mei needs a Nova. They would never. They wouldn't Nova Ruan Mei because if they Nova Ruan Mei, then like people already use E0 and E1 Mei in break teams because of how like well, obviously a lot of people were able to get Mei for free through the golden tokens. Mei is still perfectly usable in sustainless teams, and E1 Mei can actually be competitive against Fugue in sustainless Firefly teams. So if you Nova Mei, then Fugue is useless. You never use Fugue over Mei if she gets Nova to be even stronger suddenly. No, Nova Branya? It's unlikely. The only reason Welt got Nova'd is because of Himiko's gimmick of wanting Astral Express characters. Unless a character comes in the future that wants specifically Belobog characters, I don't see her getting Nova'd. I don't think they'll ever buff a universal support I mean, when you really think about it, Sparkle is basically a universal support. Her buffs are mostly team wide. They're old generalist at this point. They're no longer like shitty attack buffs. Um, she has action advance. She has skill point positivity. Like everything Sparkle provides is something an entire team, no matter the archetype, can take advantage of. So Sparkle Nova kind of breaks that type of thing. Unless you mean like team wide, like fully dedicated team wide supports, maybe. What changes do you think a Nova Acheron needs to be on par with Nova Firefly? Really, like, not that much at all. You fix her E1 and E2, you just increase her multipliers to be more up to date, and she'd probably already be as strong, if not stronger, than Firefly because of the M Blade pairing. I've always told people this, even if they didn't believe me, but Acheron is much easier to buff than Firefly. Like, way, way easier. So if you give her, well, now they've given her M-Blade, plus her own personal buff, she'd be stronger than Firefly. Firefly was in a much more dire state because of the way break damage worked, and also her base kit issues. Why hate on Wife Lee? Wife Lee is goated. She just needs more multipliers, yeah. Acheron doesn't even like necessarily need any QOL at all for like better ult stacking or whatever. She doesn't need any of that. Just give her better multipliers and bam, you're done. Yeah, Solus. I haven't been watching anything lately, Solus. I'm also a bit sick now, so, but maybe I'll catch up on it at some point. I remember I dropped it somewhere in early season 2 because it just felt so like heart-wrenching watching everything. Like the gritty stuff, the gritty and dirty stuff in Mushoku Tensei, when like the MC is at his lowest. Oh my fucking god, bro. It genuinely hurts to like continue watching the series. I don't think I've legit ever felt like this for any other series. I've watched Akame ga Kill. Keep in mind, I've watched Akame ga Kill, but Mushoku Tensei just felt like so. I don't know, man. I mean, I can understand how someone really likes Mushoku. I think it's a good series. I just find it hard to watch because of how like saddening it gets for the MC. Like, it's just insane what he goes through. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know much about like the later end of things if it gets better, but it's just heart wrenching. heard awful things about its main character. The main character is a lolicon in his past life. That's kinda it. He's like a chud lolicon, but then he gets reincarnated into his second life, and he lives his second life completely differently from his first one that he wasted. Isn't he just a Discord mod? Yeah, basically. Like, he just, you know, it's nothing game breaking or anything. Or like game changing. Predator? I mean, the thing is, like, I don't understand what. The thing is, when it comes to reincarnation stories, people can never make up their mind on, like, what works. Because technically nothing works. With people trying to apply real life logic to these anime characters, it's like, you think, even though he's reincarnated into a completely different body, because he has his old memories from what, let's say he's 20 years old, no matter how old he is in his new body, he's still technically like 30 plus years old, right? So he cannot date people his own age, right? So then you look for someone older. But then it's considered that the person in this new world who's dating this younger dude who's like mentally 30 is still a pedophile because she's now attracted to the body of a guy who's like 10 years old. With this logic, nobody in any reincarnation series can actually get with anybody who's been reincarnated, which is the problem. If you try to apply like real life morals to these anime characters, either one of the two is always a pedophile in the relationship technically. But people just don't really think at all when it comes to this shit. They just automatically label a character something and then say it's problematic, so don't think any further. Yeah, exactly, Solus. Yeah, like Roxy is old as shit. Of course, that's a common anime trope, but like, she's old as fuck. I like the anime, but you can't defend the MC for being a shitty person. Why do I need to defend the MC from being a shitty person and growing to be better over time? Do you guys want like fucking perfect MCs that never have any issues and are non-problematic from the beginning? Which is, by the way, like incredibly unrealistic. No matter how much people are performative online about their morals, 90% of people online have their own skeletons in their closet that they won't openly admit. This is just like a fact. I've witnessed it across like so many different people. Basically, gotcha MCs, yeah, basically. Like gotcha MCs who are like these perfect beings with no flaws. Everybody falls in love with them. Nothing is actually hard. Even when they struggle, it doesn't feel like all that much of a struggle. Like that's the type of MCs people want. Like just incredibly straightforward canvas painting type of MC. I can make up that MC. I could never make up Rudius. I could never write a story like Rudius's. Yeah. Like the entire point of fiction is usually to touch on things that people don't really want to, talk about in real life. Like, I mean, bro, is anybody who defends Pennywise from fucking It, like anybody who like finds Pennywise incredibly cool, like do they need to explain, oh no, the murdering of children and the targeting of children specifically, uh no, please don't cancel It, please don't find this show disgusting. Like, brother, that's just part of the story, man. Obviously he isn't real. I'm good. I mean, it's fine. It's fine to have your own preferences, right? And then you don't want to watch Mushoku Tensei for whatever reasons. But people trying to like label others who like Mushoku Tensei as problematic for supporting the actual series, it's dumb. And even in this type of logic, I feel like, ironically, like two anime fan bases that kind of go back and forth a lot are ReZero fans and Mushoku fans, when the authors are like absolutely best friends who hang out with each other. Like, this is the reality. People who are fan bases of these series are fighting because, oh, this one is so problematic and disgusting. How could you support the characters or like the characters in this series? While the authors are fucking chatting it up, and nobody gives a shit. Are ReZero fans now gonna call their author problematic? No, because they're too busy dick sucking him. It's the same with like every series. People just dick suck their author and never hold them accountable for anything. And then they just blame the fan base instead of the author, which is hilarious. It's just so common. This discussion is shit. Can we be normal? What are you talking about? This is like a normal ass discussion. I mean, it's not HSR related, but like, I just dislike Mushoku because I think the story sucks. I don't care for the problematic shit. There you go. Like that's what I like to see, right? Like, you're just saying I don't fuck with the story. Thank you. Like, that's completely fine, bro. I just hate it when it's the same thing I use with like the gacha logic, right? Where like when someone doesn't like a certain gacha, they tend to be incredibly disingenuous about it and like very hateful towards that gacha's fan base. You see this a lot with like HSR. Oh, why are you eating up Hoyo slop? You're supporting Hoyo and making them lazier by playing their games, right? Like, it's the same thing in these fucking fandoms. Like, just let people enjoy what they want to enjoy, and if you don't fuck with it, you don't fuck with it, right? It is what it is at the end of the day. There's no need to like force your agenda that this piece is the most problematic shit that has ever come into existence, and you're the most disgusting human being for actually supporting it. Have you ever read a light novel? No. I've read, I think, a web novel, and it was only one time, and it was for T-bait. That's the only time I've ever read like a novel for anything. Because I like T-bait, manhwa was getting like infinite delays, infinite hiatuses. So I was getting sick of waiting years and years. I've heard good things about T-Bait. It's a good story. It's a really good story. But once again, like the anime got fucked and the manhwa constantly is put on breaks. So it just isn't that popular, unfortunately. 4.5 beta in 3 days. Yeah, that makes sense. The patch isn't dropping today. It's dropping like tomorrow. It's a little bit after. Yeah, exactly, Teneri. Like it's completely fine to not like certain things in an anime. Completely fine. I just think it's dumb to try and speak objectively on like the anime and about how people who watch it are problematic. I'm saying this, by the way, as someone who dropped Mushoku Tensei. Like once again, I dropped this shit in like I think within the first 6 episodes of season 2 because it was so heart-wrenching that I couldn't continue anymore. I have like no eggs in the Mushoku Tensei basket at all. Gabby himself said I'm one of his faves. I've literally never said that. On my soul, I've never said that. Well, yeah, I agree, Baron. Like, if you just have the most obvious PR trained media take against anything that is slightly problematic, you will automatically be favored by, like, the obviously larger part of the internet. That's just how it goes with everything. Like, why use nuance when you can just blindly hate on shit? Also, this reminds me of like the switch up I've seen from the ReZero fan base on Capella is insane. Like it's actually insane. Bro, I made a post about me liking Capella like I think a year ago. And I also was like scrolling through TikTok at the time when Capella was first like getting released into anime. And I remember everybody who was talking about liking her was being called a lolicon and a weirdo. And now I'm consistently seeing like thirst posts for Capella across every social media. And it's like now considered normal to like her. So it's no longer considered problematic. Like the people switch up so fucking fast, man. I have One Piece figures and merch and I haven't even watched the anime. Is this LARPing? I mean, kinda. But then again, like, well, truthfully, in my opinion, I don't think there's anything wrong with just getting, like, things you like that you think look cool. You know? Like, to be honest, there's nothing wrong with that. Unless you're, like, fully LARPing the anime or something. If you genuinely just bought things because they looked cool. Like, that's what I did as a kid. I just looked at whatever was coolest, even if I didn't know what it was, and I just get it. Yeah, I know, Solus. That's usually when it becomes a little more annoying. People call Sanji a PDF. I mean, yeah, no. The only problem I have with Sanji is the gag. The gag is a little too forced at times, and I hate how much it nerfs him as being a member on the crew because he legit refuses to fight any woman no matter how powerful or dangerous they are. But outside of the gag, Sanji isn't a bad character. There's always someone worse. Cough cough Usopp. Talk about E2 Firefly and E2 Phanon act? For what? E2 Firefly account is getting E1 Gilga, and this account is probably just getting Himiko, so someone can finally use the E1 Sunday. Where's E1 Sunday? Oh, here he is. Japanese media tends to suffer from running certain jokes to the ground. Eh, maybe, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's most prevalent in One Piece. Luffy with his Gear 5 antics and his eyes going out of his head for the millionth time. And then Sanji with his gag. Have you been logging in daily? Um, on this account, yeah. I already used up all the energy and I've been farming for Himiko. On the E2 Firefly account, no. But that's because the E2 Firefly account is like 10 pity away from E1 Gilga. Well, if I win the 50-50. So that's why I didn't bother as much with that one. But this account doesn't even have a guarantee of E0S1 Himiko, which is why I prioritize playing on this one. If you can only pull Himiko or Rin, who is the priority? Um, I don't know. It kind of depends on the state of your account. I'd prefer to get a new team personally, especially considering Rin's banner is permanent. Like you don't even have to wait that long to then pull on Rin after you get Himiko, unlike Himiko, who will probably take like nearly half a year to rerun. What about the E6 Phanon and E2 Cyrenac that had Asheville? You quit that already? No, I haven't quit it, but I'm not logging into it every single day, yeah. Like, the thing with that account is, I'm not pulling anyone in 4.4, so I don't care. Because it has the FUA team, meaning I'm just going for 4.5 Asheville. Or, sorry, 4.5 Avon. And I lost my 50-50 on Blade E2, so I'm on a guarantee for Avon as well. So Avon's guaranteed, meaning the FUA team is going to be finished by the time 4.5 comes around. And then after that, I don't know what I'll make for the third team on that account. Can't you get Rin anytime? Yeah. You were going for E2, I forgot. Yeah. I went for E2 Blade and then lost the 50-50, so I'm on a guarantee now. The future is like E0 S1 Avon, E2 M Blade, Ashvale. I'll decide whether or not I want to get his S1 and E1 later. And that's the Fua team. And then E6 Faye, E2 Cyrene. So then only the third team is left near the end of the version, probably. If Nihilux is a main DPS, maybe I'd go for her. Who knows? We'll see. Will E2 Avon be on our hands? That is crazy. E2 Avon is unlikely, I'm not gonna lie. On a rerun, maybe. But on initial run, probably not, no. E1 Himiko is better than S1 Himiko. Um, I think context kind of matters here. Um, S1 Himiko becomes stronger the more sources of defense shred are on her team. And if Sunday gets Nova in, like, let's say 4.6, 4.7, and his E1 gets reworked, Himiko can now hit 100% defense shred in her teams, which makes her 32% defense shred on her Lycone like twice as valuable in comparison to before, which makes this Sig beat the E1. Oh, nah, Solus. There's no way I can get E2 Avon. Legit impossible. I was already like, I bought Battle Pass and Monthly Pass on that account just to try and squeeze E2 M-Blade. And even then, like, doing that and no lifing all the open world exploration, I just lost the 50-50 and it wasn't enough. So, like, the account doesn't have any saved up pulls right now. E2 S0, E1 S1? Yeah, but I can't get E1 S1 is the point. Or E2 S0. I can only get at max E0 S1. So if it's between E1 S0 and E0 S1, I'm just going to go for whatever's better. And then I'll get E2 on rerun anyways. So it doesn't really matter. Just do grind maxing? Hell no. I'm sick. I didn't even eat anything yesterday. That's how sick I am. I usually get hungry after like 8 or 9 hours of not eating anything. I still don't feel hungry. It's been like over 24 hours. Bye, Solus. Slow metabolism? Yeah, I've always had a slow metabolism. Even when I was like a kid, I'd eat like twice a day, usually dinner and lunch. Breakfast was usually just like milk or cereal or something. Back then, when I played outside like 9, 10 hours a day every day, I somehow like didn't lose weight that much at all. I don't know fucking how. Slow metabolism is good. I think a lot of people like fast metabolisms because it's obviously easier to not get fat. But slow metabolisms, in my opinion, are more advantageous in real life for like real life scenarios. instead of caring about your appearance. Fast is good, just eat whatever you want without concerning about weight. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if you have a faster metabolism, you'll usually get hungry faster, and you'll eat more than a person with a slow metabolism, unless, of course, the slow metabolism person is addicted to food, right? But, like, bro, food is expensive these days, man. Like, I'm happy with a slow metabolism. I do not want to be buying, like, significantly more food and eating it more frequently with current day prices at all. What's your height? 5'11", I'm pretty sure. The last time I checked was a couple years ago. I might have had a slight growth spurt. I doubt it though, so I'll just say 5'11". 5'11" is the most chopped height? Really? You play volleyball? Hell no. The only sports I've played in my life are soccer and basketball. It sucks more when you get offered food because you know you are not hungry. Yeah, that's pretty normal. I always end up eating food cold because my family makes food. I don't feel like eating it when it's hot, but I hate cold food. It's like the worst compromise ever. But outside of that, I've kind of grown to most of the time make my own food at this point, so that issue isn't as bad as it used to be. You sound like a Canadian? Because I am. Don't call it soccer? I mean, I just can't do anything about it. It's kind of been instilled to me that the sport is called soccer over here. So my brain just automatically thinks of it that way. I'm from England, by the way. If we win the World Cup, you'll have to make me mod. Hell no. I'm supporting Argentina. Messi is playing mid. Not really. I'm pretty sure he has the best stats across everything this World Cup. I feel like people think Messi's playing mid just because he walks a lot. He walks the most of any player on the field because he knows he's old, and if he tries to expend his energy too fast, he won't be able to play the minutes he does. Here comes all the copers about it being biased towards Messi, man. Holy shit. Like, just admit that your favorite team is getting smacked around by a 39-year-old, bro. It's okay. There's never gonna be anyone like him ever again anyways. Just take the hit on the chin. Why Argentina? It's just because I like Messi. Messi has always been my favorite player. They can never tell you why it's rigged. No, they'll send like one picture of why it's rigged, and then they won't send the full clip fully showing that it's not rigged. They can only use out of context pictures and conspiracy theories. Even when it comes to like, oh, they had the easiest group stage, like legit all Portugal had to do was actually win against fucking, what was it, Congo? Or was it the other country where they drawed against them instead of beating them, which led to the group changing and giving Argentina an easier time. Like, Portugal's struggling against like 50th ranked countries in the fucking thing, drawing, and then now Argentina has an easier time. And then after that, they're saying, oh, Ronaldo always has it hard. Messi always has it easy. Like, they got more penalties in 2 World Cups than Brazil in its history. Can you actually, like, here's the problem. It's never, oh, look at this penalty and look at this wrong call, right? Like, the call is right, but people complain that the call is right because Argentina keeps getting fucking fouled. Like, what do you want them to do? Oh, this is the right call, but let's not give them it, because if we do, then people on social media who LARP football are going to start complaining about the unfairness and biased treatment. So let's just like completely ignore what's actually the right call here. Like, what the fuck do you want, bro? Even against in the Egypt game, like one of the Argentine players got clearly fouled, and nobody, like, they didn't get a call for it. Like, there's unfairness on both sides. I don't get it. Bro, what was that one game where like someone's hair fucking touched the ball and then VAR just completely counted it as like a touch, and so it, like everything didn't count anymore? Like, dude, there's a bunch of bullshittery on every fucking team in terms of calls. It's not like an Argentina specific thing. Even like one of the Egyptian players, the Zico guy, who was complaining about how it was rigged for Argentina and Messi, had his Facebook found in which 6 years ago he was making posts about how Argentina is complaining about the refereeing being unfair towards them and how he doesn't care because they can't win anything anyways. And if they can't win anything, who cares about complaining about unfairness and refereeing? Like, the guy exposed himself for being a Messi and Argentina hater and not caring about refereeing if it favors him. Yeah, I saw the Messi statue. It's kind of funny. I mean, you're just over exaggerating like crazy. Holy shit. Why is Messi catching strays? Because once again, these people are sad as shit that they're getting completely dominated by a 39-year-old. A 39-year-old is still somehow a top 3 player in the World Cup. And they're getting absolutely shit on by him. Messi's 39? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Messi age. Yeah, he's 39. Larpy Maru, if you watch the cup, you know well Egypt almost won. I do know they almost won. Why would I care about them almost winning? Hello? Did you see that second goal from Messi against Egypt? That shit was a fucking miracle goal. It hit the crossbar down and inside the goal. Like, how is it my fault that fucking Egypt conceded a 2-0 lead within like 10 minutes? And then it became 3-2 for Argentina 5 minutes later after that. Yeah, like people were complaining about Mbappe's penalty too on social media, but nowhere near as many people who complain about Argentina. Like, it's insane, bro. Like, these stupid ass calls can happen for any other team, and like I won't see almost anything, any reaction about it. The second Argentina gets anything in their favor at all, even if it's the right call, people instantly go to, oh, it's FIFA versus France, it's FIFA versus England, it's FIFA versus Egypt. And yesterday's Norway game was probably the saddest game so far. That, bro, Sorloth not passing to Holland. Oh my god, what a sell. What a sell. Jesus. There's like a clip of Holland having his arms completely out, aiming at the ground in front of his feet, begging for Sorloth to fucking pass it. No, there's no games today. It's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's France versus Spain. Egypt genuinely should have won 4-2. No. Brother, they did some fuck shit that led to them getting the ball and getting the goal. They then saw that there was fuck shit going on and then didn't count the goal because if that didn't happen, they wouldn't have gotten the goal. Like, what is so hard to understand, bro? Genuinely. No, like, this is what I mean, bro. This is exactly what I mean. Holy shit. This is exactly what I mean. Even if something is a right call, people will get mad because it's in favor of Argentina. It's actually, like, so embarrassing. Is it semifinals or finals? Semifinals. It's Argentina versus England and France versus Spain. I think realistically, though, Argentina probably won't win against England, realistically speaking. Because Argentina is kind of ran on, like, Messi. Like, unless Messi pulls off miracles in terms of, like, creating goals and actually getting goals, I don't really see them beating England. I feel like France will definitely beat Spain, though. I can't believe the supposed two most unsufferable people in the chat are on the right side. Maybe that should tell you something. The two most common rage baiters in the chat, who are known for having the worst opinions possible, are on your side. Hmm. I wonder. I wonder why that is. I hate Argentina because they beat the team I support. I mean, to be fair, I did the same thing with the NBA. Like, I was hating on OKC because of them kicking out the Lakers. And I like the Lakers. So I can't even speak. But, like, I wasn't doing all this fucking, oh, the game is rigged for these guys. Like, I wasn't doing that shit. Like, this is just embarrassing from the football fans. I'm not gonna lie. They have a good team even without him. Brother, Messi has the highest stats for goals created and goals gotten in this entire World Cup, and they somehow only been scraping by against top 30, top 40 teams in the world. Like multiple times they have gone to OT against teams that should be significantly worse than them, despite Messi having the performance he's having. But yes, I don't have football knowledge. Because I think that they might struggle a little more, even with Messi, against a top 4 ranked team in the world. Yeah, Ronaldo's the one who needs a Nova, not Messi. Ronaldo is just like washed. He's nowhere near what he used to be. The guy was screaming, "I'm back. I'm back." I'm back. Ronaldo was given Hanya and Yukong as teammates. Portugal has like individually some of the best players of like in comparison to most of the teams in the World Cup. The only thing, okay, like Ronaldo just doesn't fit, bro. Like what do you want? He doesn't fit. Messi fits because Messi can play like anything and everything. He can change his play style and his teammates have like his teammates, bro, every time I go on Twitter after an Argentina match, his teammates are talking about how they're putting their soul out. They're going to die on the pitch if they have to in order to get Messi to actually like go to another World Cup final. Nobody on Portugal has anywhere near the same chemistry with Ronaldo. Like none of them. Like it's nowhere near the same. The Argentinians would literally die for Messi. Messi is the Phanon of football. Uh, I feel like these HSR comparisons are getting a bit out of hand. I'm not gonna lie. They're getting pretty out of hand. Ronaldo has more LARP fans than Messi does? 1,000%. It's because of I Show Speed. Like legit, that's why. I Show Speed randomly said like Sui or whatever, or that his favorite player is Ronaldo like years ago while playing Fort or some shit, and then he just made it like his entire football personality, and he legit larped it until now, and he's like the biggest streamer on the planet. So a ton of people who are coming up look at I Show Speed. Like I'll be like scrolling through TikTok sometimes, and like most of the things I see when it comes to Ronaldo fans comparing to Messi is looks. Like it's not even about the game anymore. They're like, "Oh my god, look at how badly Ronaldo mogged Messi. Messi looks so much uglier than Ronaldo." Like what? Speed is leeching off of him, not the opposite. I'm not saying that Ronaldo is leeching off speed. Like, I'm literally saying exactly what you're saying. But Speed being the biggest streamer on the planet also leads to his majorly kid fan base being allured into rooting for Ronaldo instead of Messi. Because that's who their favorite streamer supports. That's just how this shit works. Which is why these days, most Ronaldo fans are usually the ones who are called like casual slash LARPers. Aiden, you keep talking as if you're like this omnipotent god at understanding football, but everything you've said so far is just completely contradictory to actually knowing about football and more like agenda posting against Messi because you don't like him winning. Like, this shit has been... like, bro. Holy shit. I'm not agenda posting, just giving my opinion. I mean, that's understandable, but like, I've seen legit like your exact type of person in the NBA, like social medias, saying like, "Oh, it's all rigged for OKC, bro. It's all rigged for OKC. It's all rigged. Every foul is rigged. Everything is rigged. Free throws are rigged. Everything is favored for Shy." Like, people, I don't know, man. People do this too much. It's not like just a football thing. It's like across every sport. Or like every mainstream sport, I guess. Do you think HSR will ever collab with FIFA? No. I mean, I think I have seen I think there was a gacha game that like had a sponsor with the Olympics. So like it like showed up sometimes on the screens on the side of like the Olympic stuff. I don't remember which one it was. But out like actual collab? Nah. Like very direct collab. I don't see it really. Why won't you open a Discord server? It's as simple as I don't use Discord. I don't use any social media really, technically. I don't use Discord. The only thing I use Twitter for isn't for interacting. It's just for looking at character art. And then I spend the rest of my days just like posting on YouTube or watching anime. Like, I don't know. You know? That's why I don't make Discord. Also, Discords can like sometimes be annoying to moderate. Like, there can be really weird people who suddenly turn up in your Discord, and because I'm like obviously never going to touch Discord like I currently am, like I wouldn't be able to see that, and then people are gonna try and cancel me over that shit. I've already seen this happen to like multiple people, where like they didn't pay attention to their Discord server, and then it just like fucking devolved into a cesspool that they didn't even realize, and they got canceled for it, or like people tried to cancel them for it. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Aiden. That's why I tend to stay away from it. I mean, Ronaldo is legendary. I don't like hating on Ronaldo. I don't like hating on Ronaldo. I'm not one of those people who like suddenly gains hate for another player because their fan bases have issues with each other. Ronaldo is like historic. Guy is great. His work ethic fucking insane. It's just that I prefer Messi. Like Ronaldo reminds me a lot in terms of like how hard he's worked in order to achieve what he has to like LeBron in the NBA. Like LeBron spends fucking millions of dollars every year to maintain his body and like have the perfect physique in order to make sure that even if he gets older he can still play well. Like Ronaldo, I'm pretty sure was like on that type of method before LeBron even was, in terms of like spending millions and doing this and that in order to keep his body pristine. This level of honesty will never come from a Ronaldo fan for Messi. Nah. I've seen a few. Yeah, they're rare, but like, I don't know. I like it goes both sides. Messi and Ronaldo both have like the biggest fan bases of any football players, which automatically means they also both have like some of the most annoying followers. That's just with everything. The bigger you are, the more annoying people there's gonna be who follow you. Like for example, there's this guy who I find really annoying who sometimes pops up on TikTok. He's made like his entire account off of like quote unquote shaming Ronaldo fans and like glazing Messi. And it's like, yeah, I like Messi and I don't like the certain unfair comparisons between the two at times, but like you're fucking annoying. Like all your content is just trying to like glaze Messi and shit on Ronaldo. Like I'm not entertained by that. But like obviously other people are because these videos are getting into my for you page with like hundreds of thousands of likes. So clearly like people eat that shit up to a certain extent. It's the Zoro versus Sanji of football. True. Would I be slaughtered if I said Phanon was treated better than Castorus? In what way? Meta wise? Or like story wise 100%. Like I don't think that's even a debate. Phanon has like the best story in the entirety of Ampho. The best story treatment. Castorus got way more shilling. Yeah, but who cares? Where's Castorus' shilling now? Like, I never get why people care so much about shilling. Shilling is usually only ever something that's going on for a character a little bit after they've released, and power creep hasn't even caught up to them yet. So even without shilling, they'd clear completely fine. By the time their shilling goes, it's like, who cares? The same applies to Elation. Like, Elation is probably going to stop getting shilled once we enter, like, V5. And then other teams are going to be completely fine again. Like, I talk about this in my last video. Unless this game ever gets to the point of Genshin, where, like, certain bosses literally do, like, you do 0 damage against them, unless you have a certain element, or, like, you need to do a specific reaction. You know, in this case, like, let's say it's Elation. Elation would be needing to do, like, an Elation skill in order to do damage on the enemy. Then, like, there's no point in really complaining about it, because in this game you can just brute force everything, even if it's not necessarily favored towards you. Shilling is Pollux? Bro, I know what shilling is. But, like, who cares? Like, bro.
Do you want to enter the...
Like, where's Pollux here? Is my point. Where's Pollux? Like, they aren't favoring Rem characters anymore.
Short respite, then time for the next fight.
He will say Flame Reaver. Flame Reaver is legit just AoE shill in general. AoE characters all do better against Flame Reaver. What do you mean, who cares? Brother, I remember beating Pollux with a Venturine on one of my teams. Like, this is what I mean when I say it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, new teams get shill. Other teams can still kill it anyways, just a bit slower. And then as time goes on, those teams that were getting shill no longer get shill anyways. Tomorrow, new patch? I think. I think it could be the 15th. I remember looking it up and they said 14th for some servers and 15 for other servers.
Excuse me, can I have the bill?
15 for Asia? Why do you only have 63 pulls? Because I didn't log into this account for months. Like, I'm not actively playing on 4 to 5 different accounts all the time. I've already talked about this a lot. I'd get burnt out if I did. I never struggle with any endgame boss because I don't touch the last stage. Nice.
Excuse me, can I have...
Give the account to me? Hell no.
Look at me! Don't ever play Sparksy. We tried every single hero. Just how is anyone?
What bosses do you hate the most? That's a hard question because I usually just brute force everything and I don't pay attention to the boss mechanics. It's been a long time since I've had to focus on boss mechanics. Pom Pom boss, maybe? I find Pom Pom a little bit annoying.
Game of Comic Con Collect? Thank you so much. If you want to keep going. Great.
Lygus' heavy memo swap shill. I think I don't get the hate for Lygus. Even if Lygus is mostly shilled towards memo sprite users, Lygus is the most like Lygus is legit the best boss for anybody to go up against, like any team. Because he constantly infinitely adds 50% vulnerability to himself over time. And it just keeps going and going and going. It doesn't go away. Like, if your goal is to clear a boss within 5 cycles, Lygus might be the most easily doable boss in the entire game because of the way his mechanics work.
Thank you so much for your help. If you want to keep going.
Like, free ults and self-vulnerability.
Excuse me, can I have the bill?
Look at me! We tried every single hero. Just
Yeah, and free turns. Like, he's a shill technically for, like, every character. Although only 2 have a specific bias. Phanon has bias because he never leave his ult. But, like, this doesn't even matter if you... Like, if you run Phanon with Cyrene, technically Lygus isn't Phanon shill anymore. Like, that just isn't a thing. Because either way, he'd have infinite ult no matter what. Doesn't matter. So it's not even a Phanon shill anymore in Cyrene teams. And then it's just memo sprites. Because memo sprites, I believe, like, living or dying, fastens his ability to summon his summons for adding vulnerability to himself. Like, it happens faster with memo sprite characters.
look at me! We tried every single hero. Just how is anyone?
Have we ever gotten a King Pollux? No, I don't think so. Let me see. King. So current king is Pom Pom. Oh wait, no, wrong thing. Anomaly arbitration. So current king is the bug. 4.2 it was Eelwish. 4.1 it was Pom Pom. 4.0 it was Sparksycon. 3.8 it was Septimus, which is the Sunday boss. 3.7 was Aquila. And 3.6 was Lygus. So no, there hasn't been a Pollux King yet.
Game of Comic Con Collect?
It's legit been like Elation shill bosses for like 3 patches straight. Yeah, now Graphia. Graphia is the next one. Graphia is like a ultimate in skill damage shill. It's actually like so hilarious. Bro, I'm watching like AA King showcases a lot, and there's like this one Saber Gilga one, and people in the comments are like, wow, even with there being wind res, Saber does the same damage, if not slightly more than Gilgamesh. I didn't know Saber was this good and Gilgamesh's damage was this bad. Like, brother, there's a buff that the first person in the first position of the team gets fucking 50% res pen. Like, these people are completely clueless, bro. And they're trying to slander Gilgamesh's damage because Saber's doing more.
Excuse me, can I have the bill?
Look at me! We tried every single iteration. Just how is anyone supposed to?
Graphia is more archer than Himiko Shill. Graphia is just easy for single target damage dealers. Like, you don't need to focus the summons for literally any reason at all. So the single target damage dealers just thrive anyway. What are the clowns? You can completely ignore the clowns. In fact, if you're running any team with M-Blade, it's better to not kill the clowns. Just keep targeting Graphia, because the clowns will target M-Blade a ton, giving him more follow-ups. Like, there's legit zero reason to actually target them.
Look at me! We tried every single Just how is anyone?
Which boss is the Himiko Shill? I mean, technically, Graphia is Himiko Shill, but it's just because of how stupidly strong her buff is. Like, it's fire weakness, and then also in the King AA, she gets 50% res pen on ultimate damage, which obviously applies to her ultimate. So, like, she completely shreds with her ult against Graphia King. The thing is, like, Himiko is just a general erudition character. It's hard to, like, kind of shill her. I guess the shill for her would be, like, a Flame Reaver equivalent, probably. Like a new and updated Flame Reaver with fire weakness. Just because she's an erudition. That would probably give her the advantage over any other team in the game.
Thank you so much for your help. If you want to keep going, over my dead. Get him.
Yeah. She's just like, she's very much a Phanon, in my opinion. She's very much a Phanon. Like, technically, you don't exactly shill Phanon without also benefiting other teams. It was the same thing back then. Like, there was a buff to shill Phanon in an MOC that I think was like increased skill damage by, I think, what was it, like 80%? I think it was 80%. But then in turn, Anoxa also ended up fucking slamming that MOC because of Phanon being that general. So it's the same thing here. Like, it's hard to make a specific shill buff for Himiko because she just scales generally. It's not like Elation where they have like specific things going on. I'm gonna ban you, Summer. I'm so tired of you not listening to me. I'm just gonna ban you, man. Just stop.
Halo Comic-Con Collective. Thank you so much for your help. If you want to keep going, get 'em. Thank you, Fritz.
Excuse me, can I have the book?
Look at me.
I mean, yeah, something like that, Electo.
Just how is anyone?
Where did this Gilga is worse than E2 Cyrene thing even come from? And even if this is the case, why are we comparing 0 cost to a 3 cost? Like, are people actually, like, this dense? What did I do? You did something that I've warned you about legit a million times and you keep saying you're not going to do anymore and then you keep doing it. Like, stop being fucking weird. Yeah, like, Saber's lowest cost 0 cycle is fucking 6 cost. Against the current Flame Reaver. And people are trying to tell me that he's fucking dog shit and E2 Cyrene is better. 6 cost. And this shit is just... What the fuck? This isn't even... Bro, this is just an M-Blade E1 Tribute wheelchair that has Saber added to it. And then her best E6 clear is 7 cost. There isn't even a single Cyrene on these fucking teams. Saber's best clear against Graphia is 8 cost with no Cyrene again at E6 with M-Blade. Like... Keep in mind, Saber X Gilga are getting like 4 or 5 cause 0 cycles with sustain. She's going from 7 cost sustainless clears of her getting wheelchaired to 4 cost sustain clears against the same fucking boss. And this is including Gilgamesh and Huohuo as a cost, by the way. If they didn't cost you anything, it's technically 2. But people will get on my ass if I say that. So it's 4 cost. Bye, Gabby. Bye. Take care.
Halo Comic-Con Collective. Thank you so much for your help. If you want to keep going, get 'em. Fritz. Why auto?
I want to know what I said. Brother, why do I need to spell everything out for you? Like, are you incapable of, like, ever realizing when you're wrong? That every time you do something wrong, you ask me to explain it to you for the 5th or 6th time in a row? You just keep lying about character strength. And then you keep rage baiting about it no matter how many times I explain it to you. Like, oh, Gilgamesh is worse than E2 Cyrene. 3 standard pulls versus 1 limited pull. Oh, Gilgamesh is so trash. This character is trash. Like, it's just annoying, dude. It's like a billion times that I've warned you about it. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it next time. I'm sorry. And then keeps fucking doing it.
Excuse me. Can I have
Look at me! We tried
Why did you threaten me? Oh my fucking god, man.
Let's say something.
You banned him? No, I'm pretty sure he just deleted his own message. I didn't ban him. I only have one mod and Kiwi isn't here, so. Hello, Abby. I didn't know much about E2 Cyrene versus Gilga. Sorry for that. I don't believe you, but on the off chance you're right, no problem. But like, can we please, instead of wording shit as like, oh, E2 Cyrene is way better than Gilga, Gilga is a brick, say, how does E2 Cyrene hold up to Gilga? Is it true that E2 Cyrene is competitive with Gilga?
Let's say something.
Something like that.
Thank you so much.
But for your answer, absolutely fucking not. E2 Cyrene does not compete with Gilga for Saber. It's probably maybe close, just because of Cyrene's obviously better buffing. But Gilga's free. And then he also has a really good E1 for Saber as well. And he's like, once again, it's a 0 cost versus a 3 cost upgrade. And then there's also the fact that Gilga's synergy in sustain teams, specifically with Wohuo of all people, is way higher than Cyrene, since Wohuo's energy regen does fuck all for Cyrene. Because Cyrene has a special ult that only works off of stacking with ally actions. So the jump you get with Gilga is much higher than it actually looks with energy regenerating supports on the team.
Excuse me. Can I have
So many people. Look at me! We tried every single area. Just how is anyone's...
Is Gilga any good for non-Saber? Um, he's not bad for an Ashblade comp if you get his E1. But it's like, it works. It's good. It clears. But I'd recommend getting his E1 for it. And even then, it's likely that Avon main DPS will be better. But if you don't care about, oh, there's another DPS option that's better, then it's completely fine because it has decent vertical investment. You have E1 Gilgamesh, you have Blades E1 and E2 are also highly synergistic with Gilgamesh, and then you have Ashvale's E1 and S1 who are also decent, and the synergy with Huohuo on the team, since they all can use energy, is also quite nice. But it's not like anything spectacular, in my opinion. Oh, 100% Aiden, yeah. The 100% advance was so much stronger in the Fua team. I was actually like, I was looking at a Gilga Ashblade showcase without realizing that it was a bit dated back in V3. And dude, oh my god. He took so many actions in a zero cycle with the Ashblade comp. It was disgusting. Like he got so much more in that comp. But it is what it is.
Excuse me.
I actually found out like a couple days ago watching a showcase. E6 main DPS Rin is the second strongest E6 main DPS in the game currently. Like full E6 team though, so it's heavily unrealistic. You guys are never gonna touch that. But MDPS Rin is the second best DPS in the game at those investments. First was Mono Rem, obviously, because Mono Rem is fully finished with all their vertical. 48 cost, yeah. I'm pretty sure Archer got last place.
Can I have the bill?
They didn't want Gilga to steal Aventurine's nachos? Yeah.
Just how is anyone supposed
Archer has trash verticals 100%. Like his only outstanding okay, outstanding is a stretch even to that, but like pre Nova Sparkle, pre Rin, his only Eidolon that was actually like worth it was his E1. It was just his E1. But now, even his E1 has lost like so much value. Like his Eidolons are so poor. Archer to me kind of feels like an Anoxa, where he's much more reliant on the horizontal investment than he is on the verticals. Out of how many DPS? I don't remember. I know there was like a Phanon in there. I think there was also a Saber in there. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah. Archer, Himiko, Phanon, Evanesia, Silverwolf, Monorem, and then Saber Gilga. Let me see what the final result was. I hate ads. Okay. Okay. So the worst clearing was Archer. The second worst clearing was Saber. The third worst clearing was Phanon. The fourth worst clearing was Himiko. The 5th worst clearing was Gilga. The 6th, Evanesia. The 7th, Silverwolf. The 8th, Ren main DPS. And 1st, Monorem. So Gilgamesh main DPS actually somehow beats what's it called? Himiko main DPS at max verticals, but that makes sense. Because Himiko literally has fuck all. You know? Himiko has no after sales. To be honest, the fact that she's actually in the middle without any after sales is extraordinary.
Excuse me. Can I have
In AA? Yeah, AA plate.
Look at me! We tried every single year. Just how is anyone supposed
They'll nerf E2 Emblade. They can't nerf E2 Emblade. Like, I promise you guys, if they could nerf E2 Emblade, I promise you they're aware of the current infinite loops and they would have already done it if they could. But they can't. Like, people would probably be subject to a refund if they nerfed the way E2 Emblade works. It just is how it is. It's their own fault. These guys couldn't see fucking one patch ahead of the character kit they were creating to be able to account for E2 Emblade having incredibly good synergy with them. Insane. Not even one patch. They temporarily nerfed it for Asheville. Yeah, that's good enough. You know, they nerfed it for the Fei Xiao Infinite Ult Loop and the Acheron Infinite Ult Loop. Yeah, that's good enough. You know, surely there will be no Infinite Ult Loops from now on. And then the character kits they make in the next version right after just lead to the same bullshittery. But now they can't change his kit anymore. I still remember Gabby saying that Hoyo has a shit ton of testers, so infinite ult loops will never make it to live. To be fair, most of the infinite ult loops that you guys are talking about don't actually work, is the problem. Like, I think there might be only one or two true... Like, I think there's only one true infinite ult loop with Himiko, possibly. All the other infinite ult loops are reliant on something specifically happening. Like, you need a certain enemy lineup, you need certain kill energy. Like, it doesn't work across the board. Like, you need something favoring you for it to actually work. So I'm not technically wrong, but all the infinite ult loops that are currently from this beta, like, for example, there's one with Cassie, I think, using Gilgamesh's Lycone. Apparently, if you use Gilgamesh's Lycone with an E6 Maide who's level 1, and a Cassie who's, like, also low level, like... No one's doing this, bro. Nobody owns an E6 Maide and has him at like level 1 with unleveled traces. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is kind of like impossible to replicate in live servers anyways. They can rerun My Day? Yeah, and then what? You think E6 My Day is the only part of the puzzle there? It was also like E6 Cassie, E2 M-Blade, and some other E6. Oh yeah, Luocha E6. Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me. Can I have the
Which is more worth it, E2 Cass or E2 Evernight? E2 Evernight.
Just how is anyone
Just funny how much they fucked up with 4.3 and 4.4. I mean, I've been saying this, and I don't feel bad at all, because it's fine to want to be bold, to create new mechanics, to try your best at making new things interesting and fun, right? But the reality is, they are already fully capable of doing those things without infinite ult loops happening. The reason infinite ult loops exist is because for them, making new mechanics that make the game more fun isn't enough. They need to make these new mechanics stronger and stronger and stronger because they love power creep, and power creep incentivizes players to spend money for these characters more. And it's only because of this that this situation exists. If they just went for new mechanics without caring about the power creep all that much, I guarantee they would have easily been able to deal with all this much more easily. But their goal is always to make this new character stronger, easier to play, have more mechanics to play around, more synergy with other characters, which is what leads to these issues. Because like it's just not a coincidence. People in my comments were like, "Oh, it's impossible to account for everything that a game does," but like, it's just obvious, bro. Version 1, there's no infinite ult loops, right? It straight up just doesn't exist. Version 2 with Acheron is when they started introducing teams where you could actually gain stacks through allies without you actually taking your own turn, right? This was like the thing that kind of started it all. And then Acheron became their highest selling unit in the history of the game. But in version 2, I believe there's still no infinite ult loops at this time, because even though the DPSs are strong, there haven't been enough support releases yet for the supports to keep up with the DPS's strength. Version 3 is exactly when we start seeing infinite ult loops, right? Cassie gets like two of them. There's one with Tribby back in her earlier beta when she had a full, like, there was no restriction on her follow-ups. When she, like, there was no, oh, only one character can get a follow-up per ult until Tribby does her ult again, right? That didn't exist. So there was an infinite ult loop there with, I believe, like Tribby and Thirda and stuff, which got removed. And then there was an infinite ult loop with, what's it called? Donhung PT. Donhung PT made Cassie's Dragon invincible, so the breath just went on forever. And I think that was it. I don't think there was any more infinite ult loops for version 3. And now in version 4, we've had the most infinite ult loops ever before. Like, not even close. There's been 5 times the amount of infinite ult loops in version 4 betas in comparison to any of the previous infinite ult loops. Because these guys just keep wanting to power creep. Everything needs to be stronger. Everything needs to do more. It's just not a coincidence.
Excuse me. Can I have the
Look at me! Tried every simulator. Just how is anyone
I'm 99% sure that in the future they'll find a way to sell the loops. I don't think so, no. If you sell loops, then technically you can't do power creep anymore. Like, this game's entire design philosophy behind the way that like every new version has stronger characters and main pushes are stronger than the non-main put, like, that just completely disappears with infinite ult loops. Because it's like, yeah, my team might take 2 minutes longer than yours, but my team is still gonna zero AV it. So it doesn't matter. I've still met the requirements. At that point, the game would have to make timed HSR endgame content that isn't related to cycles, which would be a choice for sure. I wonder who's going to be the best support for Himiko in the future. I'm not going to lie. I could be wrong. I think Sunday Nova with his E1 and M-Blade might be her strongest team. Maybe. Because I was thinking about it. If this E1... Okay. What happened to Sparkle Z2, I'm pretty sure, is the buff overall got very slightly nerfed. From like 32 or 34% down to 30%. But it got the QOL to like fully work with everybody. So if the same thing happens to this E1, this 40% gets nerfed to 38%. And the reason I say M-Blade, Himiko's Lycone gives her 32% defense shred, and M-Blade gives 30%. Meaning, you get a perfect 100% defense shred with an E1 Sunday Nova, Himiko, Lycone, M-Blade team. And then M-Blade Z2 is also synergistic with Himiko, I believe. Because her main damage out... Well, no, her assist skills do a fuck ton of damage, actually. But the E2 with the ultimate damage bonus, I believe does apply to Himiko's ult. Which is a pretty synergistic support Eidolon. But then again, this could be like a Tribby Cassie situation, and I could be completely wrong. But there's like a perfect synergy there, with E1 Sunday Nova and M-Blade giving her 100% defense shred. E1 getting changed is a huge gamble? I don't think so. At all. They gave Sparkle for free, and Sparkle Z2 is 30% defense shred. Like, I'm sorry. They are definitely changing this E2. Like, it's a... There's no question about it. Whether or not they remove the summon restriction, you know, or they make it completely purely this, but like maybe. But this is 100% getting changed. Because it is the most useless E1 in the entirety of this game for a support. And they're going to want to sell this E1 for Himiko teams. It all depends on whether or not it ends up being as good of a change as I hope. I mean, we don't know what Sunday Nova looks like. I don't know. Sunday is already like one of her best partners pre-Nova, which is a fucking astronomical feat. Because the guy's buffs are like miles worse than Sparkle's. And his ult gen is kind of mid and can definitely be buffed in his Nova. And his E1 is also shit. Like, he has a lot going against him in comparison to Sparkle Nova, but he's still somehow actually like pretty competitive. So given a Nova, like if he gets a Sparkle level Nova, the same philosophy behind Sparkle's Nova, and his E1 gets changed, not including E1, he'll probably be like 30% better than Sparkle Nova on Himiko teams, not including his E1. Including his E1, much higher, much higher. If his E1 gets Nova and fixed. Have you tried Uma Musume? No.
Look at me! We tried every single. Just how is anyone?
Anon said Avin won't work with the follow-up team anymore. Maybe. Wait, no, Anon didn't say that. I'm pretty sure what Anon said is that the full male team isn't a full male team. Which he technically isn't wrong if the sustain isn't a male. Which is actually pretty likely. Like their best sustain probably isn't a dude. So Avin could still be the main DPS. To be honest, I just don't think that Fuwa isn't getting a main DPS because both Ashvale and Emblade have way too much buffing capability on the team, and Ashvale's Eidolons are fucking dog shit for personal damage increases. It feels like they're definitely missing a main DPS. So there's no way they're gonna miss out on releasing one for them. The philosophy I always use with predicting certain character like roles and teams, if they majorly buff and aren't as focused on personal damage increases in their own damage, they're almost always a sub DPS or support. That's just kind of the pattern recognition with this game. You'll never see a main DPS giving anywhere near the buffs of Ashvale or Emblade. It's non-existent. Same with their Eidolons. Their Eidolons will all be personal damage increases.
Look at me! We tried every single. Just how is anyone supposed to?
Is it possible that we could get another Yao Guang alternative? No. It's possible, but it's not likely at all, no. It's the same as Break. It's the same as Cyrene with all the Amphorius DPSs. It's the same with Hyacine needing to be shared among a bunch of HP scalers. You just have to take a hit. You go with one team. If you go with two teams, you have to take a hit. There's nothing you can do about it.
Excuse me, can I have the bill?
Look at me! We tried every.
Yeah, beta's soon. That's a good point. Beta's pretty soon. 1 or 2 days. So. Sparksy is high-key not too dependent on Yao Guang. Are you sure about that? I'm pretty sure you're like completely wrong. If I remember correctly, Yao Guang versus any other third slot option for Sparksy was like a 60 or 70% diff, if not more.
Look at me! Don't I look like Sparksy? Quick, take a picture for me.
Yeah. Like there isn't a single Sparksy clear here that doesn't use Yao Guang. Is there a single non-Yao Guang clear across like anything? No. I can't find it. Yeah, there isn't a single run with her without Yao Guang. She's only the best elation support because she's the only elation support. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. People were saying the same shit for why Yao Guang would get replaced in Silver Wolf teams. This doesn't make sense. If anything, the DPS that Yao Guang has the best synergy with is probably Sparksy. I don't really get where you're getting this from. The entire reason why I was able to predict Yao Guang's value for Silver Wolf to begin with was because her synergy with Sparksy was through the roof.
Excuse me, can I have the bill?
Yeah, Yao Guang with her forced AHA instance and her SP gen, and with only needing a basic attack most of the time, actually generates about as many skill point uses for Sparkle or Sparksy as Nova Sparkle does. And then there's also the damage aspect, obviously. The specific elation buffing. The increase in speed for AHA instant because of her being elation and a high speed character. Like, I don't really see what people are talking about.
Excuse me, can I have the bill?
Maybe Avin will be the only elation character that isn't dependent on Yao Guang. If he fits in the Fua comp, that's obvious. But if he doesn't fit in the Fua comp, and people got baited by the leakers, then yeah, you'd probably still need Yao Guang. We'll see how it goes though. I can see Sparksy's future with Nihilux removed from Yao. No.
Excuse me, can I have the bill?
That doesn't make sense. Why would you remove... What? Why would you even remove Yao Guang when you can just run Sparksy, Nihilux, and Yao Guang? Like, have people not learned their lesson from, like, oh, Silver Wolf plus Sparksy is going to kick out Yao Guang and they'll just use Sparkle Nova? Like, it's never going to happen, dude. No one comes close to Yao Guang for these elation characters. Nihilux will probably do more damage than Sparksy does. Meaning she values Yao Guang even more, too. it's just guess making. I mean, I get that, but like people were using this same logic already with Yao Guang for getting replaced by EMC, or shortly after by an Elation upgrade for Silverwolf and Sparksy as well, which is my point. Like it's just pure guessing that, in my opinion, with pattern recognition is just so unlikely. Like I just don't see this happening at all. It's a Ruan Mei situation again. It's just not at all. The only thing Ruan Mei that does that favors break teams is the weakness break efficiency increase. And the fact that she has break delay. Like that's it. Like Yao Guang is much more elation first, buffs that other teams can take advantage of second. Like no, bro, Yao Guang's buffs outside of elation teams are garbage. Like she gets beat by Ruan Mei. Like she gets beat by Ruan Mei herself as a generalist buffer. She is way more tied into her path, and her value is fully tied into her path. Would the release of Pearl bridge the gap between Yao and non-Yao teams? No. If Pearl's a sustain, automatically you pair that alongside with Yao Guang. On the very, very small chance that Pearl is a pure support without any sustain capability, you just kick out EMC. Or you kick out Sparksy from a Silverwolf team. And the same applies to every other Elation character team if they care about Pearl enough. It's just that simple. Like, Yao Guang just doesn't get kicked out, dude. There's fucking EMC and Huo Huo there. And people are talking about Yao Guang getting kicked out. It's beyond me, I'm not gonna lie. Ruan Mei was the only break support that we got before Dolly and Fugue. Yeah, and Ruan Mei is competitive with Fugue in Firefly teams. So what's even like the point of this? Like, and once again, it's a completely different situation. You get, like, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like this surface level pattern recognition that is barely pattern recognition at all, and usually only happened in like one instance that people use to like completely base an opinion off of. Like it's just not like that. That's not how it works. You need, if you only look at something and then completely ignore the character's kit, sure, maybe you can get to that conclusion. But you have to completely ignore the character's kit and what you're seeing right in front of your face to actually get to that conclusion. This is legit no different to, oh, Yao Guang's gonna get kicked out because Tribby got kicked out of Cassie teams. EMC is going to be better because RMC is better than Tribby and Cassie Mono Rem teams. Like, bro. If you just read the kit, you can understand it's not going to happen. EMC is legit a Walmart fucking Yao Guang. It's not even debatable at this point. Like, people were always on my ass for saying, oh, how do you know EMC is actually weaker than Yao Guang? and that Yao Guang is the premium upgrade over him. But like now there isn't even a debate. You look at EMC's kit, it's just Walmart Yao Guang. Significantly worse. Yao Guang is being made in mind as like the premium elation support. It's just nowhere near the same thing. Bye, Aiden. Real voice reveal? Alright, chat, I'm gonna end the stream here. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you all have a great night.